morning. It is Friday the 4th of April, and both today and tomorrow are actually another yarn festival. So there is a yarn show in Edinburgh this time, which is a little bit closer to home. So I don't have my car because it's in the garage, so I would have driven to the park and ride and then got the tram in. However, because I don't have that option, Ralph is going to drop me at the nearest train station while on his way to the vet this morning, and then I am going to get the train, which means I have nearly 2 hours of like knitting and crochet time, but I do have about half an hour waiting around in between my two trains. So I have a crochet project, which is the stop, drop and pop shawl, which is using the Wall Kitchen yarn, and the pattern is from Joanne Scrace, who is the crochet project. And then so that's on the way there because I'm nearly finished with that. And then for the way back, I have my Litmus cowl, which is a pattern by Jude Harper, and I'm using Laura from the Lonely Knitter and Folk Yarn Studio. I'm using her Game of Thrones minis and a full skein of Hold the Door on her tweed base. So I've got a bit of crafting I can do on the way. Now, I've never been to this show before. I think, is it in its second or third year? I don't remember. It's actually spread over two venues. So one is Central Hall and the other is Edinburgh Printmakers. I think Ralph was actually at Edinburgh Printmakers doing a residency when we went into lockdown. So I've never been. So this will be fun. Yeah. So I'm going to take you along for the day and go and explore a new show. I'm home from Woolly Good gathering. It's been a really good day. I managed to get to Edinburgh about 11 o'clock, and then it took me half an hour to walk from Edinburgh Waverley because I didn't realise that Haymarket was closer. So on the way home I went to Haymarket and got the train from there instead, because it's half the time in terms of my walking speed anyway. So I took with me 2 projects to work on. One I did not touch, and that is the Litmus cowl. I did not put anything into that because I was solely focused on trying to get the stop, drop and pop shawl finished. I got all the way to the end and I ran out of yarn, so I ripped back almost half and then went back on it again. So I'm now here. I am on the decreases, but I wasn't liking how it was looking in terms of it wasn't decreasing at the same rate as I increased for some reason. But also I think I may have done something wrong at the beginning, so it might not be the same. And I have this much left, which is not an awful lot. So my aim is to try and get that finished, and hopefully there's enough yarn for that. So I took that with me because Helen was going to be there for a little pop-up shop, because she had 2 classes, one on the Friday and one on the Saturday, for I think it's knitting with assisted pulling yarn, something along those lines, which is what that yarn is, and that is Helen from the Wool Kitchen. Now I also took with me last year's East Anglia Yarn Festival tote bag so that I could put my goodies in, and the first thing I bought when I was there was the Woolly Good gathering bag. I love it. When you go to a show, you've got to get a little bit of merch. So I do also have some stitch markers and a pin badge as well, which are buried somewhere within the rest of my purchases. But seeing as I have this one on my lap, there is one purchase in this bag, or from one store in this bag. Toft were there. Need I say more? So I had a good look around, and they had a lot of the books there, and then they also had sort of like a selection of all of the colours. So I don't know how much they had of each, but they had like a row. I took some footage, you will have seen that already. So I did grab the new colours, a new book, and they had some of the Powler kits as well, which is the yak. And it's all in another fabulous Toft drawstring bag. So yeah, let's get into all of my purchases from Friday. So this is Powler. It looks really dark. I don't think it's going to show up on my screen, but he is a chestnut colour, so very dark brown, and then he has charcoal for the horns and his arms and legs. And I was speaking to Tasha, and she said that the loops are all on the front, so that's going to be a nice project to make up. I don't know if it is the yak yarn or not, or whether it's just the yak, but I don't mind. So yep, that's a new one. And then one of the things I wanted to get was Alexandra's Garden flowers, because I was going to buy this book and the rose kit using the new raspberry colour, but then I realised that the rose is in this book, so I wanted to make sure I got it at a show because I thought that would be easier. Yeah, so I've got the book, no patches this time, but that's fine because I already have Tasha's patch. I didn't take anything with me because I didn't realise they were going to be there. I just hoped. And then, but I did show them my Imaginists creature as well. So I have the new colours. We have Apricot, We have raspberry. I have peach, which is like somewhere in the middle between the two. Yeah, somewhere in the middle. I also picked up kale. Now we had this in the Advent last year, but it was the gilded kale, so it had gold throughout. We also have chive, which is a nice lighter green. And just because I thought I would get a ball of sapphire as well, because I don't know if I have any of this. The other new colour is beetroot, and I have a little bit left over from the Advent, but it's a little bit too dark for me, I think. I don't know. But yeah, so I've got a bag full of yarn. I have the book, and I have Paola. That's all from Tot. So that's pretty much the first thing I bought after buying the bag. And the rest is not going to be in any particular order. It's just going to be what I can grab out of this bag, because I managed to condense all of my purchases into the one tote bag minus the Toft bag. So we have some yarn from Nervous Fibre. Now they're actually local to me. So we have Flush, which is a really nice pinky colour. This actually looked more red in the show, but I'm really pleased with that. This one is called Night Triumphant, and this looked like a navy blue, but it's not. It's more of a, like a greeny blue, like a tealy. It's a dark, very dark teal, like a grey teal. If that makes any sense. But I got those. I thought they might go nicely together. They are both fingering weight. They are 75% 75% merino and then 25% nylon. But I thought they would go quite nicely together. Then I have a little bundle from Botanical Yarn. Is that right? Yes, Botanical Yarn. So in my crafting era, which is really cute, it has a crochet hook on it. I didn't pick this bag. I was given this bag when I bought my yarn. So I'm glad it has a crochet hook on it. And I have a sock set. This is the Sakura Kojo sock set. So it's a bright pink mini. There are flashes of the bright pink, and then some really nice tones in there as well on a cream or natural base. And then there is this really pretty stitch marker as well. I initially wanted to just grab this doodle deck, which is the Botanical Doodles. So it's all flowers based, and I thought whilst I was there I would get some neon minis to do them. So I just need like a contrast, whether that's a black or I think it might be a black or like a navy maybe, to do some of these in those. And these are DK Superwash 75% merino, 25% nylon. So I have 5 and they are 20 grams each, which is 45 meters per skein. So they are the neon mini skein set. So the plan is to use the doodles with those. And then as I was paying, I spotted these really cute stitch markers. So these ones are for knitting. They've got hexagon rings. And then these ones have got round clasps on them, and they are pretty Easter eggs, which I thought was really sweet. So that is what I got from Botanical Yarn. Next up, I have some yarn from Ballyhora Fibres. Now, we did see them at East Anglia Yarn Festival, but I didn't buy anything. They are based near Dublin, or just, no, not near Dublin, about an hour from Dublin. And I believe she's from America though, and they live in Ireland. But I picked up, I was sad that I didn't get anything from them at EOIF, because I think I was more focused on getting video footage of Froggo on their fibre. But I spotted this yarn and this is 4-ply. It is 85 superwash merino and 15 nylon, and that is going to make an amazing pair of socks because it's got patches of green in there as well. It's like a little rose garden, which I just thought was really pretty. I don't think I can pronounce it though, what it's called. That's what it's called. If you can pronounce, yay, because I can't. So yeah, I have that one on 4-ply, and then I spotted the DK, and I picked these two up because I thought they would go nicely together. And then when I saw what one of them was called, I immediately turned around and went, right, they're going in my basket. So this one is Harmony Hall. So it's got flecks of like reds, pinks and purples. And then this one is called Rose Quartz, and I love anything gemstone based. So there we go. They are both 100% superwash merino on DK. So they're going to be really nice together in something special. They're super squishy. I can't remember what stall this was called, but they had all the copies of Yarn magazine. But I picked up, I think this is a Kinross. I don't remember what the sheep is, but it's a really nice little print onto a calico drawstring bag, and I just thought that that was really sweet. And yeah, so I picked up a little printed bag, which is very cute. I've also got in here, oh, I went to Yarn Tings because why not? I love Charmaine's colours, and I was looking for something to go with the yak silk I got from Yarn Unique. So I picked up, they've just ripped the bag. I have two skeins. One is Blueface Leicester and silk, and the other one is Merino Yak silk. So this is the one I thought would go really nicely with the lapis lazuli that I got from Yarn Unique, because it's only a mini, and this is 4-ply. It is 60-20-20 of Merino Yak silk, 212 meters, and it's called Phoenix Rising. That's Yarn Tings. Now, I think P made something using this colour, but in this colour yarn, or this fibre content. So this one is Blueface Leicester and silk, 55-45, and this one's called Faves. 4-ply again, 400 meters. But I just look at all the colours. I'm starting to buy more luxurious yarn, and my bank is not happy about it. But anyway, two skeins from Yarn Tings. Next up, we have some minis from Third Vault Yarns. So I have a set. Oh, look at them, they're so pretty. I have a set of Hardy DK. So these are 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So they are 20 grams each, and I have 5. They are called Rose Goblin, which is very nice. Then I have a set of 4-ply minis. These are all very much variegated. I can't remember what they said these were based on. It's a game of some sort. But yeah, I'm going to have to email them and double check. And then lastly, I have another, this is a full skein of a Hardy DK. This is called Trine, which is based on a game as well. And this is a similar zip yarn to what I've been using for the Stop, Drop and Pop, because the colour is only in one section of the skein. The rest is all a nice dark grey. So it'd be really interesting to see how that works up. So that's the yarn I bought from Third Vault Yarns. But I also picked up 2 sets of stitch markers. We have, they're dice themed as well, just because. So these ones are based on Rose Goblin, which is the yarn I've just shown you, the minis. So they have the same colour. And then these blue ones are based on like the gelatinous cube. So they've got like drips on them as well. And then I got a D20 keyring, and this is Angel Crit. So the crit has angel wings. Yeah. That's my little selection from Third Vault Yarns. I also have a bag from Soft Accents, which is a really fabulous African print fabric. It's so bright and wonderful. It also has a handle to hold onto it as well. Now this was a one skein project in a bag, basically. So they made the bags, and then they were working with Attic Spin Dye, I think it was, yep, who then created yarn based on this bag, and this is called Soul, S-O-L. It is superwash merino and nylon, 75-25. It is 4-ply, so 100 grams is 425 meters, and I think the colours match pretty well. So I need to find a project for that. This is Soft Accents. And what's great is they give you information on how to look after the bag as well. Now I have two from Soft Accents now. I don't know where the other one is at the moment. We don't know if it has a project in it. It has a drawstring at the top. And this one I think is slightly smaller than the other one I have. The other one I have has handles. So yeah, it's a really lovely bag and yarn. The last thing in this bag is actually a copy of the latest Morit magazine. And I wanted to get this because my friend Sophie of A Spring Snowflake has a pattern in here. And here it is. It is a cute little scarf. And it is Tunisian crochet. So this is Alison. She is the curator of this magazine, the editor. And yeah, that's great. So I'm going to have a go at that at some point as well. And then all the little bits that I threw in here, I also got from Morit. They had little pin badges and stickers. So I grabbed a sticker because it is holographic. I need to find somewhere to put that. And I picked up one of each of the badges as well, because one is metal and one is wooden. But the wooden one has it in colour and the metal one just has the outline. So I just thought they'd be a bit different. And then I have, I think it's quite safe to say I spent a lot. I got a lot. I found the stitch markers and the pin badge from the Woolly Good merch stand. So that is the badge. It is on wood. And then the stitch markers, there is one that says Woolly Good. One that is a red and yellow yarn ball. And one that is a blue one. To have 3 stitch markers and the pin badge. And I love this next stall. This stall is Lindsay Waters, and she makes jewellery and accessories using felt. And I was going to get one of these at Glasgow School of Yarn last year, but I didn't really have the funds. So I picked one up at Woolly Good. So this is Frida Kahlo as a felt brooch. It's just so sweet. She's even got earrings and all the flowers in her hair. Yeah. So that's going to go on my big wool coat, because I think that will stand out quite nicely. My coat is grey, so that'll be quite nice on there. And the last thing in this bag, is, I got this from Jen E. Rates, who is Jen Hogg. She was one of the Sewing Bee. Did she win? I can't remember if she won or not. But I picked up a how-to instructions on Kitchener stitch because I have a sock in progress and I may need to do this at some point. So I figured if I got it now, I have it ready to go. So it's on acrylic and it's got a keyring loop on it as well so that I can hook it to the inside of my bag and it will be there for when I need it. So that is going straight into my sock project bag if I can find it. Knowing me, it's probably downstairs. And then I have one more bag of stuff because I pulled it out of this one. And this is from Zakami Yarns. I have never heard of this brand until Emily on Memory Makes mentioned she was knitting a scarf using 2 of their yarns. And they are assisted pulling and they're also striping. It's very clever. You have to go and see Emily's podcasts to find out a bit more, but I had to go and have a look and then I realized that some of the yarn is actually cashmere. Now if you saw my EAYF haul, you will know that I got a skein of cashmere, 100% cashmere, in the podcaster bag, the goodie bag. And I wanted something to go with it because that is lace weight. So I need to hold it double with something. And it's a very pale grey with a splotch of indigo in the middle. And I just wanted to find something kind of neutral that would complement that, but also have its own character. So I found a yarn that's called Stardust. It is 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere. But it has like a mint green splotch at the bottom. And then there are very faint speckles throughout. So there's purple and yellow speckles there. And I got 2 of these. They're 4-ply. And I just thought that with the cream base, that would complement the grey with the splotch of indigo, but this also still has its own sort of faint colouring. So the aim is to find something that requires 2 skeins of 4-ply held double with lace weight. So I can make something absolutely amazing. And what was really surprising for me is that these are both 100 grams and they were only £25 each. And it's got cashmere, silk and baby alpaca, and it is one of the softest things I have ever felt. It is extremely soft. Yeah. And it's so pretty. It's extremely special yarn to me. So I have 2 of those. And then as I was walking around the store, I just kept finding beautiful yarn. I'm not one to really go for pastel colours, and a lot of the yarn I've got isn't pastel, but these, because I was looking for something more neutral, I was drawn to these, which is different for me. I then found 2 skeins of DK that I really like the colours of as well. Again, same makeup, so they're 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere. But they're DK weight. This one is called Meraki. M-E-R-A-K-I. So it's a very pale pink base, like a baby pink base. And it's just got splotches of all of these amazing colours. And I thought that would go quite nicely with this one, which is a very pale grey base, but with the pale pink and splotches of pink at the top. They look all right together, don't they? Because there is sort of greys in this one as well. So yeah, so I have 2 DK and 2 4-ply, which is some of the most beautiful yarn I've ever bought. Honestly. I need to start being more mindful in my purchases, and I'm going to take a long time looking for the perfect projects for these because I want to do them justice, and I've got a feeling they will end up being knit as opposed to crochet, just so I can keep that softness in them, and it will provide a really beautiful drape as well. So stunning yarn from Sakami. They also had assisted pooling ones. There was a navy one with like a mustard gold end to it that was assisted pooling, and I really like that as well, and that was the first one I was drawn to. But then I thought, no, when I realised it was cashmere, my mind immediately switched to I need something to pair with the Chromanema yarn that I got. So it's just beautiful. And that's not the only thing I got from them. I also picked it up, keep using the word also a lot, I have a badge and a lucky dip box. So what I thought I would do is open the lucky dip with you guys, because I don't know what it is. I thought maybe it would be a mini, but there we go, I don't know yet. But yeah, this was at the stall, like the pay area. Good yarn, good karma. I'm not really a cat person, but I just thought that was quite cute. And he's so chill. Such a chill cat. Yeah, karma cat. Wear your maker spirit with pride. So, lucky dip time. Let's open it up and see what we have. So it's 100% fine merino DK weight. It is a mini. Oh, okay. It's like a purplish, a lavender brown with specks of gold in there as well. So it's an interesting, very interesting skein, but that will go with the rest of my minis. And it says 50 yards on there, which is 45 meters. It's 20 grams. My little mystery skein, which I thought was quite cute. So that, I think, is everything. I think I have shown you everything now. And I am pretty much all spent up now for the rest of the year. I do not need to buy more yarn. But I needed a pick-me-up this week and simply couldn't help myself. But I'm glad I went. It felt a little bit awkward when I was on my own going, but I did bump into Helen of Giddy Yarns and her friend, so we did get chatting for a bit. And then I also bumped into Adam, who is Cleveley Knits, and we got chatting as well, which is good. And there was a couple of vendors that I've met before, so I always like to go back and have a chat with those as well, just to sort of catch up and make sure they're okay. More than anything. So for example, Ballet Horror, I went and spoke to them for a little while, and then Nervous Fibre as well, because I've met them both before. And I had a quick chat with Cookston Crafts as well, because I couldn't remember which doodle decks I have bought in the past, and I needed to check because I have a plan. I recently bought Wicked Minis from Laura, the Lonely Knitter, and I remembered that there is a doodle deck with a wizard hat, like a witch's hat, in the deck of cards, and I thought that would be really cool. And then maybe I can get like some bubbles or something and do Glinda and Elphaba and make a wicked project using those minis. So I need to try and find a black mini as well, because I think I have DK. So I need to see if I can find some black DK yarn. I probably have some in my stash somewhere. So I need to look for that. And I'm going to make something special. So I need to double check which doodle decks I have. If I don't have the one with the hat, then I'll order it from Cooks and Crafts, because I have no list of anywhere of what ones I do have. So I'm going to correct that and then make a list. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog of the show. It's my first time visiting, and I think I will go again in the future, but I would like to go with more friends and really make a day of it. But it was good. I ended up sitting up in the social space and having lunch and just chilling more than anything and having a bit of a break. And yeah, it was good. It was a good day. And I didn't get home too late either, which I was glad about. So something I will do in the future. I just didn't have my car, so I ended up on the train, but that's okay because it meant I had crochet time, which is a bonus, and I will be going back in the future. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you like the purchases. I will try and link everyone down below that I purchased from and what I purchased. So if you want to go and have a look yourself, then you can. And I will link the show details as well. So if you want to find out more, please do so and support some more small businesses. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you all again in the next one. Take care. Bye.